finish that.
Is it going?
We're live. Hi, everyone.
Hi. Michelle, did you see that tweet
From
Shannon Phillips?
Yes, I did. The Minister of Environment tweeted yesterday. Now, there's been some backlash, and this is not a political conversation, but she tweeted that we should eat less meat, with the implication of it being better both for our health and for the environment. And
so as our functional nutritionist who helps put people back to their best function, and we know that food is fuel and the foundation of all health. So you are in charge of coaching all of our clients and our viewers on maximum health and performance. What is your take on going vegan or vegetarian?
So meat and animal protein in general, and I'll talk about the nuances of that in a little bit, but they provide our bodies with amino acids. Amino acids are the building blocks that we use to restore and repair. So when you are healing, you need amino acids in order to heal. And when you are building muscle, you need amino acids in order to build muscle. And every day, as things get damaged and the body tries to work things out, you need these amino acids. Now, animal proteins provide our bodies with amino acids in a matrix, in a form that's very easy to break down and very easy to recognize and absorb. So when we are consuming animal protein, we're making it really easy for our body to get those building blocks to repair and restore our muscles and our tissues. What happens when we have a non-animal source of protein, and they do exist, most plants have protein in them, the matrix or the formation of the protein is not quite the same. And the body needs to take it apart and then put it back together in a way that we can identify it and use it more efficiently. Think of it like Lego. You know, sometimes all the Lego pieces are taken apart and we can build a little Lego house or a little Lego car. However, if somebody's built something that we need the parts for, but we don't need the thing that they built, we have to take it apart and it takes much longer. And our bodies like to be efficient. Mm-hmm. So this is a time-consuming process, and we also need to consume a much larger amount of the plant-based protein than of the animal-based protein to get the same number of building blocks. Does that make sense?
And so to that point, plant proteins are incomplete proteins, right? And so you have to mix things up to get the right amount of protein from them.
Yes, and
is that old school?
A little bit. That's changed a bit, and it doesn't have to be at every meal. And it's over. You know, we don't live meal by meal. We live over the course of a day and a week and a month and a year. It's our general nutrition that makes a difference. The point is, from my perspective, that when we are trying to heal the body, especially when we're trying to heal the body is in a compromised state, right? It's trying to heal itself.
Healing and repairing every single day.
Yes.
Every single minute, every single second, your body's working, and it needs to have the best nutrition possible for that. Now, I have a couple of comments to make.
Sure.
First of all, we know that there's lots of documentaries out there saying veganism, be vegetarian. Okay, one was about all the methane cows produce, and it was so hysterical yesterday when we were talking about cows farting, because right? Because when you feed them unnatural food, and I'm sure all of you can relate to this, you eat something that doesn't agree with your body and, oh my gosh, chase the dog out of the room, right? But you eat things that work well for your body and fuel your energy and your metabolism, and you don't make stinkies. So it's the same thing with cows, right? When they eat grass, they don't pollute the environment as much. And when they're eating corn and barley and all of these fake food that's foreign to them, that's when they're causing all of this. So if you want to be kind to the environment, then eat good meat. It's the quality of meat. I personally will not eat meat if it's not grass-fed and grain-fed. Grass-fed, if it is grain-fed, I will rather pass on it. Now, if I had zero choice, then under your guidance, I've sort of, made an exception here and there, but I have to say it really bothers me. So for me, I will eat chicken or fish, and then beef if I'm outside my house. Grass-fed, grass-finished beef is the most healthy because it's the most natural form, right?
100%. And I need to say that all animal proteins, animals, just like we are an animal meant to eat certain foods, and you'll hear us talking about it a lot, animals have evolved to eat certain foods. Cows have evolved to eat grass. The same way that when we eat food that is junk to our bodies, we get sick.
And fat.
When they eat food that is junk to their bodies, they get sick and fat.
And we like that fat, and that's why we sell more meat, because they're fatter cows.
Right. Well, and the fat tastes good. And as I said, there's a lot of nuances, way too complicated to discuss in a short little video. But when they eat their natural diet, they're strong and healthy, and they can provide us with the same strength and health. And in turn, we can create strength and health from the inside out. And it's not just cows. Chickens are meant to be foragers. They're meant to run around and peck. They're not meant to sit in a little coop and do nothing all day.
So just on this whole health thing, though, a lot of people believe that it is good for health to be vegetarian or predominantly vegetarian. Couple issues with that. The incidence of insulin resistance is rising dramatically. The number of people having heart disease and diabetes is enormous in North America. And I just want to talk about North America because we've got so many issues with our food and our food supply. Diabetes and heart disease need you to avoid carbohydrates. The proteins from plants come attached to carbohydrates. If you're trying to get enough protein from plant-based sources, you are going to end up with worse insulin resistance, and because your body is in a fat storing mode, you're going to have struggles with weight. You will have belly fat. You will have incredible challenges with burning fat because you're feeding the fat with carbohydrates, which become sugars, and insulin. I hope that that part's clear. So going vegan is not good for your health if you're insulin resistant. There are 2 times that I fully support people in going vegan or vegetarian. It's for ethical and philosophical reasons. People who don't believe in killing animals, they can't bring themselves to eat something that was killed. People who have spiritual beliefs around eating animals, that type of thing, no problem. We can work with you. It is much more difficult to gain health, yes. However, it is possible, but it takes a lot more work. And when I say gain health, we tend not to see perfectly healthy people, right? It's people who are struggling with fat, with energy, with fatigue, with insomnia, who just don't feel well. And then the other thing that's an issue right now, and I just want to wrap up with this part, is I know from Chinese medicine first, and then all this new talk on leaky gut, but I mean, Dr. Wu's been with us on our team for 13 years now, and OMG, have I ever heard about this warm versus raw food type thing, right? And he would warn me anytime my stomach was upset to eat cooked food, well-cooked food. And, even if you're trying this more plant-based foods, going more on the vegetables type thing, if you have a leaky gut, if you have digestive upset and disturbances, then cook your food and don't fall into the raw food category. Don't fall into that whole mentality that raw food is better, because it might not be for you. And so finally, what I want to end with is it's the era of personalized nutrition. No one thing is going to work for everyone, and just because it works for you doesn't mean it's going to work for me. I mean, I've seen you eat, and if I ate what you ate, I'd be 20 pounds heavier, right? Your metabolism's different, your hormones are different, your biochemistry is different, and for me, there are certain things I've got to stay away from to maintain my weight and my body the way I want to, and to feel good. I mean, I got up at 4:30 this morning. I've had a full day already, and here I am at the office, and that's because I feed my body the right stuff, and the hormones are balanced. So in this effort for health in January, I urge you not to just follow the media and bad recommendations from non-experts, and even going back to that US News and the top worst and best diets of 2018, those are so-called experts. So even an expert can be biased. So do your own research, have your own information, and make your own choices. But certainly don't go vegan this month just because it's a cool thing to do for you and the environment. It might be the worst thing you could do.
I agree. Go ahead and eat some meat and enjoy it. Some grass-fed, grass-finished. Really important.
And eat the fat of it too if it is.
Finished beef, and enjoy your steak.
Okay, one last thing. not everyone can afford grass-fed, grass-finished beef, and not everyone can find it. Okay. So what's your final take on that?
So just in case you don't know where your beef is coming from, and sometimes we can't find it or afford it, sometimes we don't know where it's coming from, the same way that we know that we store all of our bad stuff, all of our toxins in our fat, animals do the same. So if you are unsure of where your animal protein is coming from, choose the leanest cuts possible. If you are sure that the animal has led a happy life and is eating what it's meant to eat a little bit of animal fat and enjoy it. Those are the final words. Enjoy your steak. Have a great day, everyone.
Bye.